I wish I would have had this game early on. This is something that wasn't available when I started building as a barber. This is the most passive way I know to earn income, another source of income that I believe anyone can do. I'm gonna try to break this down the best that I can. I'm gonna show you guys, because I'm transparent about this. I'm gonna show you guys what I've been doing the last, I think like 4.5, 5 months maybe. I started this account, I think it was in May, the middle of May, and I did it to show my students what's possible with investing in stocks. Because I think a lot of people kind of overlook it or they don't really take it serious because it's just not something that's talked about in the public that much. But I want you guys to see, because if I would have seen this, I probably would have chose a different route. Especially in this market, this is amazing. From the middle of May, which is about 4.5 months ago, right? I've profited. This is cash that I can take out and I can spend, okay? I've profited $26,900. Okay. These are all of my trades. This is a index that I didn't want anymore. You can see that this is not a lost trade. This was just me moving to a different trade here. So I got out of it. I bought it. I bought it and then I got out of it here. So these aren't losing trades. Again, Nvidia, it was just probably I chose the wrong dates. I didn't like the expiration date. This one right here was me rolling this trade, but I was still profitable by $1,600, as you can see here. So I've never lost in a trade, and I've been trading for quite a bit here now. This was literally made to show you guys what's possible. These are real numbers. This is money that I can take out. So that's what we're doing tonight. I'm going to show you guys how to do this yourself. Okay. Imagine you're sports betting, but you're the casino. Okay. And instead of stocks, the teams that we're betting on are companies. You know, just think about who your favorite companies are. And you build a list of teams or companies, right? If you think about that, you know, like what Wall Street said, Tesla, right? I've been investing in Tesla since, 2016, like a long time. I love Tesla. And I knew about the Tesla robotics, the AI, all that stuff 5 years ago. And most Tesla investors did, but the general public and even big Wall Street, right? A lot of those guys aren't tuned in. They're not tapped in. They don't understand the ecosystem because they don't use the product like the consumers do. So we have a little bit of an advantage there. All right. Imagine, okay, this is how what we're doing works. You guys know Geico, Allstate, right? How do they make money? They sell insurance policies, okay, for a premium. And all of us on this stream have insurance. It could be car insurance, it could be life insurance, or whatever insurance you got, okay? And we pay the insurance company just in case something happens to our car or our life or our health. We don't want anything to happen, but we still pay this premium, okay? So imagine you have someone who's retired, and if their portfolio drops a certain amount, they have to go back to work. They buy insurance, okay? And the way that they buy insurance is they go into the stock market and they buy puts, okay? These are also called options. And you can buy calls or you can buy puts. Puts means you're betting that the stock is going to drop. And so if the stock drops, you make a profit. Well, who would do that? People who want to short a stock, or people that are afraid that their stock is going to drop and they just want to insure it just in case it does. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to become the insurance company. We're going to be Geico. We're going to be Allstate of the stock market. Okay. So I'm going to put this in green. We're going to sell the puts to these buyers. And these buyers are going to pay us, okay, a premium, okay? That premium could be $1,000, $2,000, $500. They pay you for it. It's your money. That's it. It's your money. You can take that money out of your brokerage account and go buy something with it, okay? Now, here's the thing. Why do we buy policies? What happens if you get into a car accident? What happens if you die? What happens if you have to go to the hospital? Well, the insurance company or us, we're not off the hook. We then have to cover the damages. Okay. The bad thing for insurance companies is if a car gets into a wreck, the car insurance company doesn't get the car. It gets totaled. They just lose their money. Okay. If you die, they don't get your life or your assets. You just die and they give you the money. If you get sick, they don't, there's nothing they can do, right? But with stocks, when the insurance is claimed, when there's a claim on it, you get the stocks now, right? The stocks are yours. So let's say, so then what happens is when it comes to a car, if you get in a car accident, then the insurance company covers it, right? If you die, then the insurance company covers it. If you get sick and go to the hospital, the insurance company hooks you up. With stocks, this is how it works, okay? I'm the retired person who has to go to work if the stock drops under, let's say, $80, okay? The stock is worth right now $100 for easy math. This is how much the stock is worth right now. But what the person who wants to buy insurance is saying, if the stock goes down to $80, I need insurance that you'll cover it, okay? And the same thing with car insurance or life or health, it's for a certain amount of time. So most car insurance and health insurance is either 6 months or a year, and then you have to renew. Life insurance is 30 years or 20 or 10. Well, with stocks, you get to choose that expiration date. And so what I like to do is I like to sell premiums for 30 days worth of insurance. So what I'm selling to the buyer of the puts is I'm selling if the stock drops to $80. Excuse me 1 second. I need something real quick. There we go. If the stock drops to $80 after 30 days, I will buy the stocks off you for the amount that they're currently worth. So that might mean you have to buy it for 70. Why did I choose that? Okay, we're just going to use it for $77. Okay. Well, that kind of sucks, but you still got the premium. And so if the premium was for, let me see, $100, let's say it was for $300, that's yours. So you don't lose that money, but then you have to go and buy the stocks. Okay. And what a contract and options is sold through contracts. A contract is 100 shares. You can buy 2 contracts, 3 contracts, 4 contracts. If you buy 4 contracts, that's 400 stocks, 400 shares. Okay. So let's say we sold 1 contract to this person. That means we have to come up with 80 times 100, $8,000 to buy the stocks. And I know that's kind of scary, but if you're only buying companies that are valuable, then the worst case scenario is, for example, if it's Apple, you wait a few months, you wait 1 month till the stock goes back up in price, and then you sell it. You never lost any money. That's the beauty of this. This is even better than being Geico. Okay. Now, there's more advanced plays here. You can roll, you can sell covered calls, but I want to keep it simple for you guys to understand. There's very little risk as long as you're buying good companies only. Okay. As long as you're buying good companies only. Now, I can tell you, I showed Zach how to do this. He hasn't made less than $3,200 in a month. He showed his brother how to do this. He hasn't made less than $1,000 in a month. I personally have not made less than $4,000 to $5,000 in a month. My best month was like $7,500. I got started with 20K. If you want to be able to make serious money, 20K is the bottom of it, because with Fidelity, you can open what's called a level 3 options account, which gives you margin. But you can get started with a few $1,000s if you can find the right stock. You're not going to make a killing. I mean, you are, because let's say you made you started with $5,000, and with $5,000, I can almost guarantee you make $200 a month. Where are you going to get that at? Right? And then if you're at 10K, 400. If you're at 15K, 600. If you're at 20, you can start using leverage now, and $2,000, 1,000 to 2,000 every single month. And then you keep growing it. I hate day trading. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm just showed you guys how I made $27,000, didn't lose an entire trade. Like I never, no offense to you. I'm not trying to diss you or nothing. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. But to me, and I make a lot of money, and I've had a lot of very successful investments. If I hear someone say, you can make the most passive income ever, there's nothing more passive than that I've experienced than this. And with 80K, I've not made less than 5,000 in a month. Why are we asking any questions about anything else? You feel me? Like I'm giving y'all an alley-oop. This is, if I had access to this 10 years ago, I would have never touched real estate. I wouldn't have touched crypto, none of that. So anyways, let me show you guys how I do these trades, okay? And again, for anyone that's new, I'm showing you guys legitimate, real trades here. This is what I've done in the last 4.5 months. And I started with 20K. I started with 20,000. This is what I made in the last 4.5 months. You can see every single transaction. Okay. I've not lost a trade yet. I've rolled. This was a 2-month transaction. I made $1,600. Okay. But that's more advanced. I'll tell you guys more about that later. This one I made $2,500 in 1 month. It's a big trade. So anyways, you guys want to see how I do it? Okay. Let me show you. I do it all from my phone. And it takes me altogether, I spend about 30 minutes a month. 30 minutes a month, and I cleared 27K in about 4.5 months. Think about that. Why are we talking about anything else? All right, so check this out. Hold on, let me log in to my investing account. All right, so the first thing that I do, okay, I'm gonna show you guys on my phone. Look at this, I was so prepared for you guys. All right, you guys can see I have $36,000 in buying power. That's what I have right now that I can go and invest, okay? I'm not worried about these trades that are down 67%, 65% because I have 30 days left. And it says that I'm down, but if you look at the price of SoFi, it is not below $22.50. So I'm still winning here, okay? What I do is I check to see if it's a red day. Okay, on my home screen, I have charts and I'll show that to you guys later. And it tells me if it's a red day or it's a green day. Okay. It's not just option trading, guys. We're selling insurance here. I go to the watch list and I'm looking for stocks that have dropped quite a bit. Damn, I wish I would have gotten to HIMS sooner. Okay. And then I'm going to go to, like, for example, HIMS is down 9%. I want to look at, for the month, what is the worst it's been? And if you can see here, $45 is about the number, $44.50. Okay. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to look for news. What's going on? Why is it that the stock dropped 9% in one day? Okay. And this is why. There's insider selling, quite a bit of insider selling. That's scary. That's scary. But I still don't think it's going to drop down to less than $45. I don't think. And if it does, I do think in the next 30 days, it will go back up. Okay. So let's say I like this trade. I'm going to make sure I can get this trade for a lot less than $44.50. Okay. And I think I can. But the goal is to make at least 2% on my income. All right. So I'm going to go. This is Fidelity. This is the biggest brokerage in the world. All right. So on the top next to the word HIMS, if you guys can see that, there's like a link. Okay. You're going to click on that link and you're going to choose at least 30 days out. So November 7th would be at least 30 days out. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the stock prices, right? I already sold a put at $45. That's why there's a P there. All right. But I'm going to go into this area and I'm going to scroll over to Delta and I'm looking for the 20% mark. Okay. Now, why are we looking for 0.20, the closest thing to 0.20? This tells you the odds that you're going to win the trade, believe it or not. So the Delta, if it says 0.2, that means you have an 80% chance of winning that trade because you're the insurance company. You're Geico. You're not the person buying the insurance. Who has more odds of making money, the insurance company or you who they have to pay out if you get in a car accident, right? Probably the insurance company. That's why they're so profitable. Same thing with us. So we're going to go with trades that we have an 80% chance of winning. All right. But we're also going to use other tools to give us a better chance of winning these trades. All right. So for example, if I buy the one at $47, no, not 47. If I buy the one at $44, I have a 79% chance of winning that trade. If I buy at $43, I have a 81% chance of winning that trade. Now, we need to make sure that for the money, it's worth our time. So we want to make at least 2%. So you would do 4.3 divided 43, I think, times or divided by 100 times $2.10. That would give you your return on investment. All right. Now, if I show you the app that you get in the mentorship, okay, and if you're in the mentorship, you literally just have to go to the site and put your email in, and you'll get access to this. Okay, so let me zoom in, move this over so y'all can see. Okay, so if you look down, I go to margin of safety, and I want a safe bet here. So if you look at the percentages, that's the margin you have, right? So 20% is safe because right now, at the time of this trade, the stock price was $56. And when we sell this insurance, okay, as long as the stock price doesn't drop under $45 after 30 days, okay, that means you win this trade, which means you have a 20% margin of safety, which for this stock is considered safe. Now, that doesn't mean that 20% is considered safe for another stock. Like if it's GameStop, for example, we know that shit could go up $1 million, go down $1 million. 20% is never safe for that stock. But for this stock, historically, it's telling you it's a safe bet. And if you scroll over right here, it says you get a 2.25% return. That is for the month. Do you guys realize if you do this every month, that's like 30% for the year compounding, right? That's real money. That's real cash flow that you can take out and buy stuff with. All right. This is how you make your money work for you. Literally how you make your money work for you. So it meets our 2% minimum mark. It's 30 days out. It's safe, right? The margin of safety is safe. Okay. It's going to cost you $4,500. Now it's not going to cost you that. Okay. They're going to pay you. But if they have to make an insurance claim in options, it's called being assigned. If you're assigned these shares, because after 30 days, the price goes down below $45, then you have to buy the stocks for $4,500. Okay. That doesn't mean you lose. That just means instead of having cash, you now have the stock. But the stock isn't worthless if you're buying good companies. Then you can go and sell insurance again, but you're selling insurance using stock as the collateral versus cash. So there's almost no way. You literally have to fall asleep at the wheel to lose money here. You literally have to be the most undisciplined person in the world to lose money here long term. Okay. So this is why I got into that position that I just showed you guys. And I might have got in a little too early, and that was my fault. The reason why I got in too early was because I didn't look at the charts. Okay, and let me show you what I mean by that. Because I was showing the guys at the shop, I didn't look at the chart. Oh, damn. I'm gonna have to show you guys later. But I can look on the chart and see what's the probability that I'm buying at a good time. And I can guarantee you I probably bought at a bad timing. But tomorrow, I would get into this trade tomorrow then. And I would get in at like $42, $41 and still make that 2%. Okay. Is there a way to get in for 1,000 or 2,000? You could do like, let me see. You got to find a cheap stock. The cheapest stock that I know of is probably SoFi, but you're going to need more than $2,000. You're going to need whatever the stock price is times 100. Okay. But if you don't have the bread, that's okay. Put it in your brokerage account, earn 5% on it because that's the interest rate they're paying you, and then save towards it. But guys, with 20K, the minimum you'll make is $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. Where else can you put? Cheaper stocks more risky? Absolutely. 9 times out of 10, the cheaper stock is going to be more risky. SoFi's not bad though. SoFi's not bad. But I would highly suggest, man, if I could motivate you, if I've ever motivated you guys before, you want something life-changing. $1,000 a month is life-changing for anyone. That covers your car note, your insurance, right? Like that buys you health insurance and pays your car insurance and life insurance. For some of you guys, that pays your booth rent every month. And all you need is to get 20, you got to get 20K, and I can almost guarantee minimum 1,000 a month. Doug, there's an entire course in the mentorship on this, an entire course. And this is a game changer. Because I know a lot of guys in my mentorship I wouldn't stick with hymns. So I don't stick with hymns. Right now I have Palantir, I have hymns. I like Robinhood. Look, I'll show you guys what I'm usually in. Hold on. Now, I wanted to show this to you guys real quick. If you're in the mentorship, okay, this is the login screen. So you go to bossioinvesting.com. Okay, I'm already logged in. Let me log out. Okay, this is the login screen. All you do is you put in your email that you used to sign up to school. So I'm going to use Fort Worth Barber Supplies because they're in the mentorship and I have theirs memorized by heart. All you do is put your email in, log in as 6FB member. Boom. And now you'll have access and you'll have the best opportunities every morning. You can come in here and see the best plays of the day. Okay. And like Zach is saying, Zach is telling you, I pay my rent every month with this, guys. My rent is $3,200 a month. So if you don't know, he's one of the coaches in the mentorship. He can tell you this, like it's the easiest passive income I've ever earned in my life. Easier than barbershops, easier than anything. And I don't touch it. I'm just going to let it continue to snowball, continue to snowball, continue to snowball. Before you know it, if at 100,000, I can make 6-7 grand a month. At 200, I can make 14. At 300, it might scale down a bit, but I'll make 20. At 400, I might make 25, 26,000 a month. You guys see how that you just keep putting more, it forces you to build wealth and save money. No, so the way it works is once you have $20,000 in your brokerage account, they give you what's called a level 3 options account, and they allow you to leverage. So now you have more buying power because they believe you can take more risk because you have capital. And so that gives you enough leverage to be able to do 3, 4, 5 trades when you probably could only do 1 or 2. Okay. And Fidelity is the only one you want to use. So listen to me, guys. If you're not in the mentorship, you can't take the extended course. But if you're not in the mentorship, you can't take the extended course, but you can go to my YouTube channel right now for free and take an entire course. Like I'm giving this because I know how much it'll change your lives, guys. I'm giving y'all this game because I know how much it'll change your lives. So if you just type in Chris Bossio investing, okay? If you just type in Chris Bossio investing, you'll see right away at the top, stock investing course number 1. It is a 8-part series. It's an 8-part series. Just watch all the videos and I break down exactly. I'm literally giving this game to y'all for free because I don't care what country you're in. You can make money doing this. Real money, life-changing money. When I retire, this is what I'm doing. If you're in the mentorship, go to school, go to the stock investing course. There's an extended version.